Hey guys, I'm just driving through St. Pete and stopped by one of my first apartment buildings that I tried to buy. This was back in 2018 and it's on St. Pete, so I just came to check it out just because I'm passing through, and they wanted 2.4 million for this apartment building. It's 30 units, 30, and they were rehabbing the units and everything, but as you could tell, it's a nice place. It's a nice area, but it's not entirely some of the greatest area, but it is still a very nice area. There's an elementary school right on the other side, and I'm walking through the back side of the building, so you could see it's pretty well kept. From 2018 to now, it's probably worth about, I want to say, maybe close to $3 million now. But this was one of the first buildings that I went to come and take a look at, and I put an offer in actually, and I was in contest to buy it, but there was another buyer that really wanted it also, and it turned into a bidding war, and I just decided not to pursue it because I wasn't confident enough to get into a bidding war, and I didn't understand debt properly, financing and the requirements to secure debt, because you're thinking, if you're going to buy a $2.4 million property, you're probably going to finance 25% down, so you're looking at 75% financed, which is probably about a little over 1.6, around there, give or take. So it's a lot of money, and I lost the property, but I ended up buying something bigger than this, and in a very nice neighborhood that cannot be replaced. Has a lot of space. See, this doesn't have a lot of space for parking, and on the other side is the main street, so there's no parking there either. But I bought that property that's much bigger than this, a lot more nicer, and I just had to be patient, and had to continuously look at property, look at real estate, and put in offers, and not knowing if I'm gonna actually win it or not. But I just kept on trying. I kept on pursuing the goal. I didn't scale down. This is 30 units. This is the first offer I ever put on to buy. But my first actual property I went to see was 56 units in Jacksonville. And when I drove that property, I didn't have a good feeling. But this one I did have a good feeling. As you could see, it's nice. It's a nice upkeep property. It was looking a lot nicer 3 years ago. It's kind of run down a little bit, with the blinds and all that stuff all messed up. And you could tell like the quality of tenants that are in there are probably not the best, because people who take care of their properties, the blinds don't get all jacked up like that. That's an indication of the type of people that are living in there and stuff. So you just got to keep on plugging away at it. This is Saturday, and I drove all the way from Flagler Beach to come and try to buy this property in St. Pete. And it's just part of the process. You got to continuously stretch yourself and get out there and get out your comfort zones and believe and trust your gut, trust your instincts. And I'm so happy I did not buy this property, but it taught me a lot of lessons in the process of trying to buy this property. So like I said, I bought something a lot bigger than this, a lot more nicer, a lot more potential, a lot more expansion to grow. I can put another 8 to 10 more units on the property that I did buy. There's so much potential where I'm at, and you cannot replace the property that I bought in the area. It's a very nice area, and I'm not telling you where it is because I don't have it sorted out structurally, that protects the asset and myself from people that are haters. So I need to set that up a little bit differently, and that is because of the way the bank wanted it to be structured when we initially purchased it. However, it doesn't have to stay like that. You can always restructure it with some attorneys and paperwork, but initially when the lender's lending money and there's a lot of other people involved, sometimes they they have their way because they're the ones who are putting the most money in there. But you know, it's all learning lessons, and they're good learning lessons, and you have to go through them. So once I restructure it properly, maybe I'll show you some more of that one. But for now, I wanted to show people that, look, this is what I shopped. You know, I shopped this property, and I really wanted to buy it. I chased this broker down to get his attention, and you know, honestly, I was a newbie, you know, but I learned the ropes. I continuously studied, read books, asked tons of questions, talked to tons of lenders, brokers, asked tons of questions, and I had to really learn the industry and learn the game, the real estate game, on a different level. To buy a 30-unit apartment deal like this, it takes a whole nother level of skill set than buying a single family house or a duplex or a quad. I mean, it really takes a lot of skills. And I mean, this is multi-million-dollar skills you have to learn. People who own properties like this are very well off. They mastered business, they mastered their money, they have great credit, they have a history of investing, they understand how debt works. You know, they're disciplined with their money, they're disciplined with their decisions, they don't buy stupid shit. You know, people who buy things like this, they're trusted people. They have a track record, and I have to have a track record too in order to buy the property that I bought. You know, and that track record started with just a single flip, a single family home, my own home, and I continuously snowballed and built my resume up. And you know, the message I want to say to people is you got to start someplace. You can't start at the top. There's no elevator to get to the top. There's no fast pass to get to the top. You just got to put your dues in every day, and you got to start. And you have to, that's the hardest part for people, is just to actually take a step of faith and start. And stick with it when it doesn't make any sense, when you got to cut the TV off, when you got to eat ramen noodle soups, when you can't go out and eat every weekend, you can't bullshit around, you can't watch TV. You just got to, this is what it takes. That's what it literally took. And it still takes that to maintain and to continuously grow the asset, because this takes energy. This takes energy, this takes time, this takes repairs, this takes strategy. You know, because you got to retain the tenants, you got to recruit new tenants, you got to constantly update, you got to constantly compete, and it's an everyday game. It's like playing the game of Monopoly. You have to continuously roll the dice and go around the board, and this is the same concept. So I'm gonna get on the road and continue on my way back home. Live free, live amazingly.